This week on Bad Brackets, we collect them all. Welcome in to Bad Brackets. And no, this is not the 37th time we've tried to start this episode. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're not going to get to the 151 that we'll talk about here in a minute. My name is Randy Isbell, bringing you Bad Brackets every single Monday, where I get three people together and make their lives miserable. This week, let's get the family back into it. Let's bring my son, my own flesh and blood, Mr. Chase over here. He's 15. He thinks he knows a lot about Pokemon. We're going to put that to the test today. See if he can come away with a Bad Brackets title. Chase, how confident are you?
I'm very confident. I have 5 different books on this, so we'll see.
5 different books. The kid can read. 2 below me is somebody coming on for his second ever episode, and he is undefeated in his time at Bad Brackets. Mr. Sean Garmer, coming off a few weeks ago with video game controllers, ready to defend the title.
Yep, looking to make it 2 in a row.
And speaking of 2 in a row, that's exactly where Eric Watkins is right now. He's won the last 2. He said he did not want to be on the Pokemon episode, but he's got to try to make it a 3-peat, right?
Look, when someone like Robert Taylor, given everything I've dealt with him, throws down a gauntlet, I am contractually obligated to respond.
There you go.
Just,
and by the
be
way,
glad I'm not wearing a Kansas City shirt. I thought about it.
That is true, yes.
Thought about it. There you go. By the way, shout outs to my daughter Addie and her cousin Jazz. As Jaslyn and Addie made a nice little picture over here of Jigglypuff and Charizard. Get into the mode of Pokemon. For those that don't know, we are just going to do the original 151 Pokemon. Why? Well, because we want to do a lot of these, right? So we've got to break them down into their generations, and we can get a lot of episodes out. Also, happy Pokemon Day tomorrow, if you are watching this the day it comes out, or happy Pokemon Day a different day if you watch this some other time. So there you go. That's why we're doing this. We're going to have fun. If this is the first time you are watching this episode or any of these episodes, we will look through the rules here real quick. And Chase being his first time, we've got to make sure we say these twice so he really understands and doesn't mess these up. All 3 of these guys here in a moment are going to guess 3 possible Pokemon that have made the 24 Pokemon bracket. We will do a spin the wheel deal here in a minute, and then whatever ones they pick, if they end up on the bracket, you get points based on what seed they end up. So if it's a 14 seed, you get 14 points. Eric has been crushing this lately. So we'll see what we can do here. If it's not on the list, you get nothing. 0 points. And hopefully, with only 151 to choose from, and we pick 24 of them, we can have a 9-for-9 episode. I'm not sure if we've ever done that yet, but we'll see if we can do that here.
However, if we don't have a 9-for-9 episode, stay tuned and we'll drop a coupon code to Jollibee.
That's a good talk. I love it. All 3 of these guys gave me their final 4 and their champion, what they think is going to happen on this show. If they get the final 4 correct, they get 2 points for each one they got right. They get 5 points if they got the champion. Everything sound good so far over there, guys?
Yep.
I actually had to do research on this. I don't know what that says, but yeah.
You're not cultured. You are uncultured.
My culture is
on
different.
Pokemon.
And look, my culture is different, okay? And I promised your dad that there would be certain things that I wouldn't mention, so I have to keep it that way.
You don't want to know Eric's...
What a family show.
Yes. Let's just move on. Let's see who gets the very first pick in this episode of Bad Brackets. The wheel goes round and round, and Sean is going to end up having your very first pick. And the second pick is going to go to Eric. So, Case, welcome to the show. You get nothing. All
Yay.
right, let's go right into it while I bring up the stuff. Sean, give me your first pick.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to go for like the obvious ones that I'm sure are gonna be on here.
Well, you want them to be on there at least.
Well, you do, but then also like I'm sure I'll pick the one that gets like 2 points, and then I'm not going anywhere here. So,
Right.
let's go with Gengar.
Gengar is the very first pick here. Eric.
I was going through all of the lists, especially since you mentioned different evolutions and everything, and I thought this one might be out there, might be a decent enough seed, or I continue my streak of having one with no points. Pidgey.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Was
That's
that a
what
good
really
ooh
is-
or a bad ooh, Chase?
This is gonna be really tough with having all the evolutions not together.
Well, it's not just that. It's also Pidgey is very common, which
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pidgey is in here because it was one of the very first.
Well, it depends on what your dad was looking at. If he's looking at popularity, the anime counts, it's a whole different deal. than just
That-
Again,
Goes on
again.
here.
Yeah. You have to properly adjudge the rancidness of this man.
Oh, he can
right
get
here,
super.
okay?
He could get terribly rancid in this episode and screw us all. This is gonna be a really crazy episode.
Just wait. I got help on the rancidness on this episode.
Oh no!
All right, Chase. I need 2 from you. Who's your first pick?
Knowing you, most likely Charizard. Charizard is going to be my first pick.
Chase doesn't understand how this game works, but he's going to get points. All right, give me your second pick.
Cubone.
Cubone is on the
Interesting.
pick. See if Cubone can make this bracket. Eric.
Now, with this one, I admit this was deeper on my list, but for good reason. I thought to myself, he knows I'm going to be on this show.
Well,
I've known him
Yeah.
for a while. He has known me for several years. He knows that I can get away with this. So he probably knows I'm going to try at least one. Lickitung.
Of course.
all right, Sean.
Snorlax.
Oh, that's with an I. Snorlax, okay. And by the way, just with me having to look up spelling does not mean that they are on or off a thing. I didn't have to type out the Pokemon's name when I put pictures out there, but I am a bad speller. Snorlax is Sean's pick. Sean, you get one more.
Gyarados.
Is that how you spell it?
Close
I think
enough.
that's right.
I think so.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Y-A-R-A.
Yeah,
There we go. Okay. Eric, one more.
Psyduck.
Psyduck.
Ah.
That's a good one.
All right,
that is
Chase,
good.
you've gone with 2 C's. Are you going to go with a third?
No. Mew.
Oh. Who?
Mew.
Mew. I thought you said you. I am not a Pokemon, sir. I just thought that was your name. Your name started with C, so you're just going down with the C Pokemons. It was going to be an interesting strategy. But all right, let's get into it. And we have new graphics and we have new fun stuff that I wanted to debut for Pokemon. I've done a lot of work. And let's make sure and hopefully it all works out.
Yay,
Everybody ready to
attempts
go?
at production
I like this. This is
value.
cool.
All right. So let's start things off with the 13 versus 20 matchup. Now I always have to go back and look at what you guys picked. And I believe I can say that points will be given out in this matchup right off the bat. Your 13 seed
Oh, nice.
is old Jigglypuff.
Hmm.
And your 20 seed and points is all Gengar, Sean. 20
All right.
points right off the bat for Sean Garmer. More importantly, Jigglypuff versus Gengar. Who moves on?
I can spell this right.
Yeah, you're my son. Don't worry about it. We can't spell any of them, as I've shown several times in this episode already.
Look, I don't have to worry about spelling things. I'm a math guy, so.
That's true. Everybody ready to go? Everybody got
Yes.
their pick? All right, reveal now. Gengar 2-1. Eric, tell us the history of Jigglypuff.
I'm sorry. Now you expect me to do a spiel when I don't have one on hand? Now you're going to pull this card.
Eric picked Jigglypuff because Puff was in the name. All right, Sean, why don't you go with Gengar?
Gengar is actually probably it's the best ghost Pokemon of all the Pokemon that are in Gen 1. If you're gonna talk about the video game, Gengar is probably the most recognizable of all the ghost Pokemon as well. When you're talking about like going through the different games in the whole Pokemon series, if you're gonna go to like the ones beyond just the Game Boy ones and the anime too, he's pretty well known.
Chase, why'd you go Gengar?
It's just a cool Pokemon. I like the Mega Evolution.
He's going to say Mega a lot in this episode, guys. Just get ready.
I will.
He's very much into the Mega evolutions of these things. All right,
It's
Gengar
gonna be
moves
Mega,
on.
I can tell.
Should we give out some more points? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Already?
Wow.
This is an interesting sign.
They all got stuff in the
Okay.
one bracket here.
Eric
Psyduck.
with some points. Psyduck
Okay.
is the 12th seed.
Okay, I'm off to a good start. I like
Nice.
this.
And Psyduck can go up against old Abra.
Ooh.
Psyduck
Ooh.
versus Abra. Liking the new graphics? The graphics working out so well? I like
Again,
graphics are cool. I like that.
I'm appreciating the extra production value. That's always a good thing.
Hey, we hit double-digit subscribers. Huh? I'm bumping up the execution of this thing. We get the triple digits. I don't know what else I have to add to this, but I'll do something. All right, everybody ready to go?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
He called me sir, guys. He's acting on his best behavior because we're recording it for people. I love it. All right, let's see him.
I call you sir all the time.
We have 2 for Psyduck and 1 for Psyduck. I don't know what a Psyduck is. Psyduck moves on. Sean, if I would have went with a different evolution of Abra, would he have had a better chance, or just Psyduck rules?
Oh, I definitely would have had a better chance. I mean, Abra's the most kind of useless. It's not useless unless you just need something to teleport with. But yeah, Abra's just there to be the thing
sit there and look
to
pretty.
evolve into the other things.
Eric, what did you think of Psyduck? Why'd you go with him in your picking for the 12 points?
Not just for the different evolutions of Psyduck and overall general usefulness, but as I said, going through trying to actually figure out, all right, what types would you match up with? We'll probably go this one in the first round. So far, that's paying off, but I have a feeling knowing you that might change. This is just the first bracket, so...
And calm down just a hair. All right, we have the 2 that have moved out of the play-in round. Let's get to the 4 seed. And I can tell you right now that with all of the different graphics that I have to do to make things work, I just use PowerPoint. So all of the images are all over the screen. I can't remember who the 4 seed is because it's all blocked by all the different graphics that you guys see. So, and I'm old. Not Robert Hagen old, but old, and my memory sucks. So let's all find out who I
We'll all play Who's That
together.
Pokemon together here.
Here we go.
Who's that Pokemon?
Your 4 seed is Mew.
Mew. Oh,
Points for Chase. 4 whole points for Chase.
is this the first time we've
Gengar-
all gotten points in like the first bracket within the
Yes.
first?
You guys are doing well. I'll give you that. Gengar versus Mew. You guys ready? Do we have an upset or does Mew move on? Let's see. Ooh. Oh, almost the upset. Sean, you gave him hope. Why did you go Gengar over Mew?
I kind of figured Mew was gonna win just because he's a legendary Pokemon, so it's kind of hard to assume he won't win here. But man, just Gengar's cooler. He's also a ghost Pokemon, which technically, if the game didn't mess it up, they're supposed to be the ones that are actually able to take out the psychic Pokemon. So, but the game kind of made it to where they're evenly matched with each other, which was incorrect in the first. But you know how that goes.
And Gengar shows up in the part of the game that has the coolest music in the original.
Yes,
game.
the lavender is town area.
Absolutely. Chase, Mew gave you some points. What do you think of Mew?
Mew is literally one of the creators of Pokemon. How can you not love Mew? It's so cute. It's tiny. It's literally almost the size of the palm of your hand. Not actually, but.
And not to mention the fact that it just starts out so unassuming. You don't expect anything. But then when you get to the evolutions of Mewtwo, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, bam. You know those times when you have the perfect joke, but you can't say it?
How did
Speaking
I
of
know
Mewtwo.
that he was going to do this?
Mewtwo versus Psyduck. Who moves on? Eric just knows me. He sets it up. I knock it down.
Again, it took me a while, but I think I've got the level of rancidness just right.
Eric
just
Watkins.
right, or I'm getting close.
Eric Watkins, the John Stockton of bad brackets. Chase has no idea who that is, so that's the best part.
Nope.
You can play as John Stockton on that game to your right.
Wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right, who moves on? Mewtwo or Psyduck?
Just because I knew what was coming, but I tried to avoid it anyways, just because.
All right, Chase. Why Mewtwo?
It has the best origin. Like, saying that scientists took Mew's DNA and then creating a bigger version of it, then it going ransacking, destroying everything is just the best. It's better than the little duck that waddles around behind a girl going, eh.
I mean, he was the main antagonist in the Pokemon movie. I mean,
That is true, yes.
Plus, he's the Sephiroth of Pokemon. So
I mean, come on. Besides, can you just fault him for trying to maximize his screen time without really saying anything? Really?
So no upsets in this bracket. 4 versus 5. Mew versus Mewtwo. You guys ready?
Yes.
Hold on. Don't reveal just yet. I like to play the game here at the end. Eric knows.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see Chase first. Mewtwo. Did anybody go the opposite? Let's see it, Eric.
Ah! You chose poorly.
I might not have had a choice. Sean, was it a clean sweep? Yeah.
Yep.
See, I feel better when it's just there's no correct answer and I'm just screwed. But Mewtwo moves on. Were any of you guys close to taking Mew in this one?
Actually, I was. Yes. I was.
Why is that?
Because Mew and Mewtwo both have like a great connection, but like I said, Mewtwo just has a better origin story.
Sometimes the sequel is better than the original.
Also, you got to give it props to a villain for a while.
All right. Look at your points through the first quadrant. All 3 of you got points in that first group, so congratulations there. Sean, though, with a big 20-12 to 4 lead. Chase, Mew only got you 4 points. How you feeling about your chance of coming back here?
We'll just not talk about
He's super confident, folks.
Chase, trust me, as someone who has finished 3rd place lots of times, after a while you get used to it.
Well, let's find out if we give out any more points as we move on to quadrant number 2. The old 16 versus 17 matchup. Let's start here.
Oh, Zapdos.
Let's go with some legendary battles, shall we?
So I got it. This is Articuno.
Nope.
Oh, it's Moltres.
Moltres versus Zapdos.
The
Which
two weaker
legendary Pokemon
birds.
moves on? All right, let's see him. Zapdos moves on. Chase, why'd you go with Moltres?
I just like the fire element more than I do lightning. I think it's just kind of, yeah. I mean, the three birds are kind of mysterious because they don't have a backstory. But
Sean, why'd you go Zapdos?
These are not. I like the other bird that is not pictured here more, but
Articuno.
yeah, Zapdos has a cool story. He's actually the one that I used to always get when I played Pokemon Blue or Red, where the other two were kind of like, by the time I got to that point in the game, I was like, I already got him. I'm just going to go on. So I guess go with Zapdos for being the known one.
Yeah. Eric, any thoughts on these two?
In some cases, lightning is just a little bit better than fire. So kind of lean with that type. Not to mention, if I'm right, lightning versus lightning? Question mark?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of know who the number one this should be.
Do you? We'll find out. But first, let's do the other play-in matchup. Your number 9 seed. Good old Ditto. Good old Ditto is your number 9 seed. And you know who also kind of does some Ditto-y things? Go, Mr. Mime! Mr. Mime versus Ditto.
Almost. But I thought,
Thanks, Chase. Ditto and Mr. Mime.
almost.
One of them gets to move on. That's the best part. One of them will make the final 16.
It's a bad thing I don't want to spell mime.
All right, let's see him. Mr. Mimi gets 1 vote. He loses out to Ditto. Go back and watch the 90s sitcom when we talk about Mimi on the Drew Carey Show. Flashbacks there.
I mean, he's going to be mad about you for that one.
Eric, what do you know about Ditto?
I mean, for something that it's definitely, yes, you get the aspect more, especially by the shape and design, fluid. It's not so much that you're lazy by getting Ditto, especially if you have your other Pokemon, but much more handy, especially than Mr. Mime in this case.
Sean, why'd you go Ditto?
Eric has a point with it being handy. You can transform into any Pokemon that you're fighting. So, why not? Plus, he was supposed to be sort of Mew, but they couldn't make it work.
Yeah, this is very, very true. All right. Again, I block off what I see from the 1s and the 8s and the 2s and the 7s. So let's see if you guys are right. See how I felt at the moment. Yeah, of course. It's Pikachu. Pikachu is your number 1 seed. Shocking to no one. So yes, you guys did lightning versus lightning. Eric laughs now. But we'll see.
I saw what you did there with that unintentional pun.
Yeah.
But he's not actual number 1, which is sad.
He's number 1 in Rancid's heart, and that's what matters.
That's not true. He's not my number 1. Popularity-wise, he's number 1.
You could have let me have that one, Isbell. But
No, I refuse, because I like mine. All right. Who moves on, a legendary or the legendary moneymaker? Anybody want to show me? Yeah, Pikachu all day long.
Yeah, it's the original. Like
The original
You have no Pokemon without
These
Pikachu.
are all original.
But this is the first Pokemon Ash actually got.
right?
Yeah, but he
The
wasn't a
mascot
starter
of
in the
all the
original
Pokemons.
games. He was just a Pokemon.
Until Yellow, and then
Yeah, Yellow.
Until
fixed
Yellow.
it. All right. Pikachu moves on. No surprise there. But we keep talking about the TV show. We keep bringing up the TV show and Ash. So it should give you a hint who I would pit against Pikachu as far as the two people that got buys in this group. Good old Meowth. Because he was the guy that went after Pikachu the whole time.
Yeah, but
is he still a big antagonist? Is he still part of Team Rocket, or they move on from Meowth?
Yeah. He's still a big part of it.
He's still there. I haven't watched the new one yet without Ash, so no idea there.
Oh, yeah, I forgot how you left. It's going to be sad.
All right. Meowth or Ditto? Who you got? Meowth moves on. Chase, welcome to the show where they all pick on you and you don't know anything and you don't get anything right. Why did you go Ditto, Chase?
Meowth cannot keep his mouth shut. I swear, every 5 seconds, you just hear him start talking about something that he does not like.
Talking about Meowth or me?
I'm about to say, you say that as if it's a bad thing. When you get our age, you will understand.
So the classic matchup that everyone expected in the quarterfinals, Pikachu and Meowth. By the way, nobody got any points this round. Or this quadrant.
How many quadrants are there?
They were much nicer to you than I was right there.
Look, I could either do this or explain the etymology behind the word quadrant and go into a little bit of Latin. I figured it would be easier for everyone if I just did this.
And he always comes home saying he has no homework. They just don't do anything in school anymore. They don't teach him anything.
Mine does the same thing. I'm like, how do you not have homework at all? Okay.
Hey. Things like that help keep me in business. So if you have any math or homework needs, contact me and the fine people at Rick's TNT LLC. We got you.
There you go, Chase. If you ever need tutoring help, there's your guy. All right. Who moves on to the final four? I'm just everyone show me Pikachu. All right. Or show me Pika Pika. That's fine too. No surprise there. Pikachu moves on to the final four. It'll be him and Mewtwo when we get to that semifinal. I won't even bring up the points. Nothing changed. However, things are about to change as we move on to the 14 versus 19 seed. Points will be awarded. If things will click. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, Gyarados.
Sean
gets 14 points. And then we had a big debate between me and the committee. We'll just say committee. I'll take Nick Wright's whole deal when he does Nick's tiers and say there's other people that are involved because there kind of were this time. And we went with Rapidash over Ponyta. Rapidash versus Gyarados.
Ponyta?
14 versus 19.
Love how you butchered that pronunciation.
What?
Ponyta.
That's what I said. Let's see if you can spell it right. All right, let's see who moves on. Rapidash, Gyarados. Gyarados moves on. Chase, why'd you go with Rapidash?
It just had so much more in the story than Gyarados did.
Chase is so set on the story. I don't feel like he's ever played a game before.
I have. I mean, Gyarados is a cool Pokemon to have in the game, but I just like Rapidash more.
Sometimes you will learn in life. You enjoy what you can and the plot doesn't matter.
Are you sure?
Sean, why'd you go Gyarados?
I mean, Gyarados has a pretty cool story too. It's just his story is more about the Magikarp that comes before him than him. But you know, if you're actually looking at this at Pokemon, Gyarados would absolutely destroy Rapidash. I'm like, about 20 seconds. So,
It-
you know,
it-
not to mention Gyarados can learn Hyper Beam, so that makes him pretty awesome. Anyway.
That's true.
All right, one more play-in matchup here in quadrant number 3, and I feel like giving out more points. Points are fun. Points are fun to give out. And let's do that with your 11th seed.
Woo!
Good old Snorlax. By the way, that image takes over this entire screen to my right. I don't remember who else is on here. Snorlax blocks up this whole thing. But it is Snorlax versus Slowpoke.
Ah, nice.
Snorlax versus Slowpoke. Sean, you already got all of your points in. How do you feel?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of points.
Double
Yeah,
digits each
like,
time.
he set the bar pretty high, so I would feel nervous, but I'm playing with house money this episode, so I know.
That's true. Going for the three-peat, going out of his comfort zone. We appreciate you hopping on here. All right, who moves on, Snorlax or Slowpoke? Snorlax all the way. Eric, tell me all about Snorlax.
Well, again, you figure out, especially with the larger size of Pokemon, more convenient in that way. A decent fighting style, at least a few times that I was able to play way back in the day. I swear, if I keep going on, I'm going to feel even older than I do.
Chase, why'd you go Snorlax?
He's just a better Pokemon overall. Like in the games, he has just the challenges I have to go through to move him is pretty fun to be able to run through that and do all that sort.
I'll also say Slowpoke only becomes cooler when another Pokemon bites it.
That is true.
Because that's his evolutions. It's just another Pokemon is just stuck on him. Let's just be fair. All right, let's move on to your 3 seed. It'll be Gyarados versus Squirtle. Little old Squirtle versus big old Gyarados. All right. Everybody got their answers wrote down. Reveal now. Squirtle gets a little bit of love. Gyarados moves on. Eric, why'd you go Squirtle?
Gyarados.
Not just we're another one of the OG among the OGs, water type. Yeah, another one of those instances where I could go about 5 different directions here, but I'm not. You're welcome.
Sean, why'd you take out the 3 seed?
I mean, Squirtle is, like Eric said, he's one of the OGs. He's one of the most popular starters of all the water Pokemon still. But I mean, unfortunately, Squirtle, when it comes to the other 2 starters, he still isn't. He doesn't compare to those 2. Just number 1, and then Gyarados is Gyarados. He's a freaking awesome water dragon. I mean,
Yeah, and he needed like 400 candies in Pokemon Go to finally hatch this stupid thing.
yeah, well,
I digress. There's other Pokemon that are even worse than that for that. But all right, let's go on with your 6 seed. It's Bulbasaur. Another one
The
of the
number
main
1.
starters.
the number 1.
Bulbasaur versus Snorlax. Number 1 in your Pokedex, number 37 in your heart.
Don't say that.
That's not true.
Remember, he could be number
6.
1 in your heart too.
He's number 6. He's number 6 on the bracket.
He was on my list too, of the ones I was picking through, and it's like, all right. I had a semi-draft strategy. I had a big board, like Milk Hyper Jr. up in here. He was on the board. He was on the board.
If we can get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, we will do a sideshow of getting Eric on shows where he doesn't know a lot about the topic and then we'll just record him going through his big board and why he has things in different spots. There you go. All right. Can a starter move on to the next round, or does Snorlax sleep on it? Let's see. All the way Bulbasaur. And Chase making fun of me the way I say things. Has yet to spell a Pokemon correctly this whole time.
I can't spell. You know this.
I know.
He's a runner, not a speller.
That is
Exactly.
also true. Chase, why'd you go Bulbasaur?
It's one of the OGs, but also, just the connection that you can get with Bulbasaur, and his moves are pretty cool. And the story, I'm going to say that a lot.
Yeah. Sean?
No, but this one actually, the story is actually awesome. He's one of the best stories of the entire anime, Bulbasaur, and especially how he eventually evolves and all that stuff. He's also my favorite Pokemon of all of the Pokemon in the 151. So you can probably know where I'm guessing with this next matchup then.
Yeah, Gyarados, Bulbasaur. Who joins Mewtwo and Pikachu in our final four? All right, you guys ready? I'm going to go Sean first because I know where he's going. Okay, now I'm going to go with Chase. I messed up. Eric, did I mess up completely? No.
No,
Clean
you
sweep
didn't.
again.
You didn't.
Clean sweep again. So we'll say Bulbasaur. We'll talk about him once we get to the final four. Let's go ahead and bring up your points right now. And Sean has his 3 already out there, but they were all in double figures. So 45 points already on the board. One of the higher marks so far here on Bad Brackets. Eric still with 12. Chase still with 4. Eric, you got a long ways to go to get to your 3-peat, but you still have 2 left on your board. Sean is done. How you feeling?
Look, either A, I have a record come from behind win, like England and Edgbaston against India a couple years ago, chasing 378 runs in the 4th innings, or I lose because someone balled out like the All-Star game and had a record performance. Either way, I'm comfortable with the narrative.
Don't bring up a tremendous comeback with a snooze fest that was that All-Star game.
Very fair. All right, last quadrant. 6 more Pokemon to reveal. You guys have 4 left on your boards. Let's see what can happen here. With your 15 seed, Machamp.
Champ. Okay.
And then the 18 seed, the only middle evolution of a Pokemon that has 3 sections to it. And that's Poliwhirl, because Poliwrath just looks dumb. And I hate where he evolves. So we went with the middle one, Poliwhirl.
Well,
So Machamp versus Poliwhirl. You guys ready? Let's see. Machamp will take it. 4 arms are better than 2, Eric.
4 arms are better than 2, but when you've got someone with like a design to have the spin and a little hypnotize, sometimes extra appendages only work in certain situations. I swear, Isabel, you did this on purpose. You did this on purpose. You did this on purpose.
Family show.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying.
Hey. Welcome to the world of Pokemon, sir. Sean, are you with me? Is Poliwhirl the better version of the whole?
Oh, I agree with you there. Poliwrath is kind of like, we just try to give him all. We try to make him look like Machamp, but he doesn't look as cool. Mm-hmm. Poliwhirl is cool because he's like basically like a psychic water, and he looks way cooler than the Tentacruel, which is like almost like a waste of space. Poliwhirl is like perfect middle evolution like that.
What did you say, Tentacruel?
Yeah.
Well, our 10th seed.
Oh, don't tell me.
I swear. I swear.
It's not Tentacruel. It's Eevee.
Oh.
It's Eevee.
Okay.
It's Eevee. Calm down.
I was about to select that one too for my top.
Also on my big board.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't, Chase. Because you get 23
Hi.
points.
Oh,
Cubone
nice.
makes the bracket.
Cool.
23 seed. You guys keep
Of
bringing
course,
up
it's
stories.
one of the cutest.
You guys bring up stories. This is not. I
Cubone
don't know if
has
they
the
brought this
best
up on the
stories.
show, but just the description of this Pokemon in the game is a story in itself. We'll talk about it in a minute. Go ahead and let us know who's going to win. Eevee, Cubone. All right, you guys ready? Let's see who moves on. Eevee takes out the old Cubone. Chase, you love this Pokemon. I know this, but why?
Honestly, its backstory is sad, and I feel bad for it. Cubone literally wears the skull of its dead mother. Like, it can't get sadder than that.
Eric, did you know this backstory?
No, I did not. That
Would that have changed your pick?
depends on how sober I was before the show. If I had learned that after a couple of other things, yes, it would have changed my pick.
Sean, with Eevee, I mean, obviously this is the original 151, so it only evolves into 3 different Pokemon, but by the end, I think it has evolved into 151 different Pokemon itself.
Yeah. I mean, it also got its own starring role in a game as well, proving that is now a big enough mascot by itself.
Yeah.
There's rumors that he was supposed to be, if they had made a second Pokemon Yellow, he would have been the one to go with Pikachu, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. I almost put
yeah.
Eevee as the 8th seed just because of the Pikachu Eevee battle that would have.
I thought you might do that actually, but you know,
almost did, but Meowth, that's childhood. That battle had to go. All right, let's go with the 2 seed. There's only 2 Pokemon left. Machamp goes up against
I choose you.
the
Charizard.
goat.
oh, had to be.
The goat.
Had to be.
Charizard,
That's
the
more points.
real number 1. That's 2 points for you. Calm down over there.
It's points.
That's-
Points are points.
And unlike other shows, the points matter on this one. Machamp versus Charizard. Who moves on? Correct answer, correct answer, correct answer. Good job, guys.
You
Proud
know
of
the
you.
Charizard.
Sean, why Charizard?
I mean, he has like one of the coolest anime episodes ever in the entire anime. The one time where Ash has to be a man to be able to tame Charizard. And, you know, not to mention he's one of the most beloved entire Pokemon in the entire, even when you go through the entire Pokemon that exists now, Charizard is still one of the most beloved. His card costs like what, $7,000 by itself. I mean,
I don't know.
Right.
Ask Jake Paul.
yeah.
Any other thoughts on Charizard?
One of the best Mega Evolutions in
Told you.
all of
Yep.
Pokemon.
I mean, it is cool. It is cool looking.
Again, top of my big board, Charizard. But I'd like, nah, not going to be worth too many points.
No,
I was right.
Charizard is the absolute GOAT. I beat Pokemon Red where I only use Charizard. Like he could run through anybody with the different moves that I put on him. So Charizard was always my favorite. But that brings us to the final Pokemon to be revealed. Your old 7 seed. Anybody? I like to do this now too. Have the other side games. Any guesses?
Nope.
Nobody wants to play my game?
Dragonite?
No.
Dragonite is a good
We're going
guess.
with Dragonite. Well, also this is like mainly starters or first evolution of starters, so maybe Dratini instead of Dragonite.
I don't know, maybe Geodude, but too much of a stretch for a 7 seed.
I mean, you guys haven't seen a theme where the 2 that got a bye have something to do with each other?
Somewhat.
Jolteon.
Charmander.
It's Charmander. You have to have the other guy out there. One of the other 3 starters for Pokemon Red and Blue. Charizard had to start somewhere, and also a fantastic episode on the Pokemon series.
Yeah,
A
that's
very sad story.
very sad.
It is a very sad story.
All right. Who moves on? Eevee,
To set up the rivalry, of course.
Charmander, and Eevee.
I tried to
Get
do
outta
it again. I tried to do it again. You can't blame this one on me, you rancid.
I don't get the first evolution versus third evolution. I'm fine with that. But let's go right into it. Eevee could take out Charmander, but can he take out Charizard? Let's find out here now. Who is the final Pokemon to make the final four?
I probably butchered the spelling on
Sean
this.
is
It
ready
should
to
be a
go with
slam dunk.
Charizard.
It should be a
Chase,
slam dunk.
Charizard,
Like,
Charizard, Charizard, Charizard. All the way in there. Beautiful. Charizard in the final four. Look at your points going into the final four, and it's all wrapped up. Sean continues to be unbeatable. Eric not only had 1-0, but he ended up with 2. Pidgey was never going to make it on there. Lickitung got close. He was definitely in consideration. But we
to
got
be fair,
7 of
he's
the
like
9.
one of the Lickitun's one of the most popular Pokemon in Japan. So you got something there.
Again, if we need to get a Jollibee sponsorship, because I swear, anytime I mess up like this, got a special coupon code for the show, drop it in the description. Randy, it can be a thing. It can be a thing.
It's true. We'll look at the bonus points here shortly with semifinals, and we'll see what ends up being a champion. But Sean is getting up there as far as highest point total in a single episode. So we'll see how things go. But first, let's look at the semifinals. All right, here is your semifinal matchups. First up, the movie battle, Mewtwo versus Pikachu. Who moves on? We will go one by one, and we will start with Chase. Pikachu. Let's go with Eric. Not right.
Yeah, right.
Because you have to mention it once, and exactly once.
I'm surprised it lasted this long. Sean, was it clean sweep?
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, you got to admit, when spoilers if you have not watched the movie, but in Mewtwo's attack, when Ash does die, you can see Pikachu's anger, and he literally goes Super Saiyan.
Super Pikachu, not Mega Pikachu. You go
No.
Super Pikachu.
He goes Super Pikachu.
All right. Who will meet Pikachu in the final? Old Bulbasaur or Charizard? Let's try this again. I have not nailed one yet, but mostly because you guys just keep clean sweeping it. I'm going to go with Chase first.
You gotta go with the Charizard.
I believe Sean goes the other way this time.
I'm not though. I can't.
No, he did not. Oh, was it
As
clean
much
sweep
as it
again?
pains me. it
Clean
pains me.
sweep.
All right.
Clean sweep.
It pains me.
Not surprising. Sean, I'll let you talk about your favorite boy one more time.
Man, I mean, he's still the best starter. He's still the best starter. He helps
true.
you out for like the first 3 gyms or whatever. And
Yeah,
then,
no, I do get that
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
He is easy mode for the beginning.
he's just too lovable too. He's just so lovable and like, you know, probably if you
Alright.
did like a rank of the most popular ones, he's probably in there, the top 10.
To the surprise of very little, your championship match, Pikachu, Charizard, the top 2 seeds in my bracket, which just shows how great my bracket was. Thank you. But who is the champion? Everybody got theirs wrote down? Eric, let me see yours first. Chase, show me a different name. I got it right. Sean, it's up to you.
Come on, Sean.
determined the greatest original Pokemon of all time, and he gets it correct. Charizard is a good boy. By the way, Charizard. Thank you, Jazz. She got the good picture in there. By the way, Jigglypuff is what Addie drew. You gotta like what they did. Eric, why'd you pick the wrong one?
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought the matchups were going to land a little bit different. Definitely love to, as we say, one of, and I will say, even though not the one of the main faces of the franchise, I get it. I end on an island. Perfect way as I kiss my hat trick goodbye. I knew. Mutter, Taylor, mutter.
Chase, where'd you go, Charizard?
He, like we said in the anime, him just evolving at the perfect time to save Ash from the Aerodactyl was amazing. I loved it, and also just him in general, his moves, his typing, his mega evolutions, all of them combining is the best, especially his Gigamax.
John, what about you? Finish it off there.
I mean, he's probably like when you talk about like the coolest of all the Pokemon. He's the guy. He's the one that stands out. Just the way he's always portrayed the same way every time you see him. They are consistent with that. He is probably the face of Pokemon for all the people that are not Pikachu lovers. And you got to give it to Pikachu. There is no Pokemon without Pikachu. Let's be honest. But Charizard is probably right up there with him, and he is that face now.
That is true. So hold on. We're just tallying up the stuff here. And the win is not in doubt, but a record could be set. I have not started creating the Bad Brackets history book yet, but I don't remember anybody topping 50 points.
Nope, I believe the record at this point is still 46. We mentioned that last week.
Yeah, and 45 is where Sean was coming in to the Final Four and the champion. And, I mean, I just got to say, Sean Garmer knows his Pokemon. He hit it perfectly. All 4 Final Fours and the champion.
Woo!
Sean nearly playing a perfect game.
Sean, new record.
It is a new record. How do you feel over there, Mr. Garmer?
Hey, I thought they would get close to that, but man, I didn't think it was gonna be perfect. That's pretty awesome.
58.
Suck it, Harry.
Yeah, Harry was supposed to be on this episode, and then he backed out, and we're able to get the 2-time champion. So yeah. Sean sets the record, 58 points.
Try to beat that, people.
That's gonna be tough.
I mentioned England's record comeback against India at Edgbaston. If you look at their latest test in this series, they were chasing over 550 and got skittled out for 122. That's how I feel right now. And I'm not mad.
So we are 7 episodes in, and we have 3 people now in a 3-way tie for the most wins on Bad Brackets. Sean Garmer has 2, which joins Mr. Eric Watkins, who had won the previous 2, and Harry Broadhurst won the first 2. Robert Hagan has 1 win as well. I say this, I guess Harry could change it. Harry will be on next week's episode, but none of these 3 people that are on the show this week will be on the show next week as we do Best Wrestling Video Games. The new WWE game comes out next week, and we're going to have a lot of fun playing that. So I figured, why not go back and look at some of the best and not so best wrestling video games of all time. And I'll tell you this right now, just a secret between the 3 of us and the 10 of you that will watch this episode. It's the most ranted I've ever been on that bracket.
I can't wait.
I might have to just tune in to see if anybody could beat my epic 7-10 split tirade. That is the benchmark. if you have people throwing,
I can already
things-
hear Harry going off about almost
Harry-
everything.
It will be Harry Broadhurst. It will be Robert Taylor, and it'll be newcomer David Doofenberg. Those three will battle it out next Monday for the best wrestling video games. But that will do it here for this historic episode of Bad Brackets. Sean setting a record that is going to be difficult to beat. Congratulations to Sean. He is the Pokemon master. Sean or Chase, Eric, I mean, you got to go collect some more badges, guys. You got to do a little bit better.
Look, again, he can get 58 here. I will continue to beat 58 on the golf course.
On the front nine. All right. That's going to do it. For us, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Again, if you're watching this on the day it's released, happy Pokemon Day tomorrow, guys. Have a great one. My name is Randy Isbell. This is Bad Brackets. We will see you next week.